the sun is rising in the back over there. Look at Axel, still shaking. It's cold in the car, but not going to be that cold apparently in Dallas today. I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. But here we go, guys. I woke up and I was like eager to make a video because I watched this Netflix documentary, or at least most of it, called Don't Die. And, you know, it's got a lot of people talking because there's like this niche, should I say, you know, group of people, or like everyone's interested now in like reverse aging, anti-aging, and like maybe a certain community. Maybe it's only big with some of the podcast hosts and some of the communities that I listen to or follow in the medical community online. But one of the takeaways was that like this guy's like, I'm, you know, devoting my whole body to science, and I'm gonna find out how I can get my like metabolic and genetic markers to look like 5 years younger than I actually am, and this is the first day that I've done it perfectly, and I'm doing things perfect. His whole idea is he wants to do things perfect, and he's taking like, you know, 90 supplements, and he's, you know, working out twice a day, 4 times a day. He's eating like, you know, plant-based whole foods and all the other things. And it's just funny because like it is definitely, you could see like agenda driven from some point, because like I think most scientists know that in order for you to get like everything that you need for like optimal health, let alone let's just say like glucose and insulin control, and let's just say like micronutrient and or certain vitamins or minerals that we need from food, you probably need some amount of animal food. So right then and there, you're looking, if like you're only plant-based whole food or vegan, plant-based, whatever, right? There's all these like, you know, on a spectrum in terms of like what it means to somebody else. You know, he'd be like lacking in a lot of that department. Another thing is like, if you're really trying as hard as he's trying to live this like perfect life, the stress level alone, like the cortisol that his like adrenal glands would be making alone, would be like diminishing the actual value, so to speak, in terms of like the building relationships and spending time with people, and sort of the like laissez-faire parasympathetic actions that would probably enable prolonged life. So in actuality, even though he's around a lot of people, which may counter, you know, what it is that I'm saying, and he lives with his son, and there's, you know, that part of the story is a very nice part of the story, is, you know, his, how he found success and how he, you know, was able to build and form this relationship with his son. That's very nice. But the interesting part is like, you know, I don't know if like what he's doing is optimal for living forever. But the one thing I can, or live as humanly long as possible, with the best quality of life being biologically younger than what he actually is, excuse me. I understand the goal. Like, I'm not being, like, I look at the gray areas. I'm not going to be this guy that's like, he thinks he's going to live forever. No one lives forever. Like, this is not me. The one thing I will say, though, and this is what I like, this is what I actually like about Don't Die, the documentary, is he is showcasing how diligent, how regimented you have to be to like live this optimal, healthy lifestyle. And that's sort of where I'm going to end this video. I hope anyone who watches it, or I hope anyone that tunes in and listens to my content, they understand that if say I do something to show you like, hey, you know, this is how I stay, you know, for the most part pretty lean, this is how I stay for the most part pretty active, this is what I do to make sure that I keep my, you know, blood sugar under control, which is, you know, a big problem for me if I decide to go out like I did last night and have Italian food. This is a big problem for me if I'm going to eat any dessert. This is a big problem for me if I don't exercise to the extent that I intend to, you know, intentional exercise that I should do. And so what I mean by that is like, you really have to be regimented. Like eating, let's just call it what it is without trying to dress it up anymore, but like it's boring, you know. We eat the same thing over and over again all the time. Quick snapshot to me, if I'm doing it right, I'm pretty much eating mild amounts of fruit. I mean mild, and it's like I eat eggs and beef, sprinkle with feta cheese, avocado, eggs and beef. So in other words, that's boring, right? Like, oh, that's no fun, that's boring. You gotta have the time, and you gotta have the money, you gotta have the energy, and you gotta have the resources. I mean, the money, I could show you that it's probably, you know, less expensive or more expensive to even do that versus like eating, you know, between Wendy's and gas station or like a protein bar. In other words, it probably costs more money right now to buy like synthetic made protein bars, protein powders, and then like almond milk, and then, you know, maybe eating out, you know, twice a week versus, you know, having organic, you know, grass-fed, just ground beef and or eggs, you know, every day. But anyway, sorry, I'm getting off track. And then the next thing would be like just, you know, the exercise, the dedication to the exercise, all that extra time, that 30 to 40 minutes adding up to like an hour or something a day that we're like scrolling on, no longer TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, watching our YouTube videos. You have to be like, oh my God, I need to get the exercise in on that time. And then comes down to that the socializing and figuring out a way to say like, I'm not going to socialize with only, you know, alcohol. Those are sort of just like the cornerstones, right? No alcohol, no processed food, no sugar. And when I say no processed food and no sugar, that goes hand in hand, because it's, you know, if you have a little bit of like natural fruit sugar, that's not going to be the thing that fucks you up. If you have, you know, a dessert, you know, once a week, if you're very, very active, that's not going to fuck you up. But if you have autoimmune spectrum related reactions to food that cause terrible symptoms, yeah, that one time of dessert could really fuck you up. So, you know, that's the nuance of like this formulating really good habits into your lifestyle and doing the boring, regimented, health, you know, best, how should we say, the best choice to lead to like healthy habits that build a healthy routine that is health, as opposed to being like, oh my God, that's so obsessive, that's so boring, it's not sustainable. Well, in that video, in that documentary, he's kind of showing you that like if your effort is put into it that way, even though his is so extreme, it is sustainable. And it is sort of what it takes. The question is, what are your goals? Like, why are you doing that? You know what I mean? But that's for another video. So I'm going to get out of here. I just felt like making this video and I got to get to work. So guys, let's see if Axel's cool now. Oh yeah, nice warm and still chilly for him. Oh look, he sees, hey Axel, say bye. All right, later everyone.